Hey guys, welcome back to another Out of Breath Arm Sore Packer Minute with me, the show where I talk about the Packers wandering around my neighborhood and you watch to see if I get drilled by whatever that is behind me. Let me step off for just a second. This ought to be good. Well, that was a truck. Well, it didn't get super interesting there, but that's okay. Well, today's show, I just want to talk about the running game, okay? So, in the game against Detroit, we saw Eddie Lacy once again riding the pine for a time. James Starks coming in for him, John Crockett getting activated, and Alonzo Harris getting cut. Now, the storyline behind that was that Eddie Lacy and Alonzo Harris had been late for curfew one night. So the Packers, I think, sent a very clear message that messing around is not going to be tolerated on this team, which I think is a good thing. Now, Eddie Lacy had a terrible game. I don't have that. I think he was like 5 carries for 4 yards in this game against Detroit. John Crockett came in, really was seen as kind of a spark for the offense, kind of got things going. Of course, he's totally fresh, hasn't, had to handle the duties. But one thing I did catch is that before the Minnesota game, John Crockett was the guy who played Adrian Peterson for the practice squad, and he raised some eyebrows doing that. So one thing I liked about him was how nifty he was. I loved his footwork, and I think with Crockett, Lacy, and Starks, we've got Lacy for the Thunder. We got Starks. He's kind of the one-cut, decisive back, puts his foot in the ground and makes his move. And then Crockett, he was a little more nifty. He had some great footwork, really quick footwork, actually. But the question is, who's going to carry this team moving forward, hopefully to a division title, which we are once again, we're on top of the NFC North and looking to serve and get another NFC North title. Personally, here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Eddie Lacy kind of get the memo on this, that what he's been doing isn't going to be tolerated. Here comes somebody else ready to, this could be interesting. Bam! No. I'd like to see Eddie Lacy get the memo and turn it on and kind of become the back, that thunder, that pounder, that kind of linebacker wilting running back that we've known him to be. I think this would be fantastic for the Green Bay Packers moving forward. We know the struggles that our wide receiver core has had, and I think that would be great. Now that said, if he doesn't toe the line, it looks like John Crockett might get a chance. James Starks has been good here and there, spotty. And then, of course, Eddie Lacy came on with back-to-back 100-yard performances. I'd love to see that, if we could keep that going. But the big question is, it'd be great if we could roll all these guys into one running back, but we can't do that. So we need to be able to rely on one of these guys and take them into the playoffs. And I honestly don't know who that's going to be. I think when Lacy was hot, he was probably the most devastating back we've got. John Crockett looked good for a couple carries. He also had the miscue, not handling the handoff very well, which was just very sort of rookie-ish. But we'll see who can handle the load moving forward. I think with the struggles our wide receivers have had, in the Detroit game, we saw Richard Rodgers and the tight end, the passing game to the tight end, really come on strong. That's a big, big plus for our offense. If we could add some really good running back play to that, we could get the running game going on a regular basis. I love that the Packers stayed with it in the Detroit game, even when it wasn't necessarily paying huge dividends. But if we can get the running game and the tight end receptions up there, I think this team can hit its stride at just the right time. So that's what I think. What do you think? That's the question. Do you think that this Packer running game is going to get it going? What do you think about Richard Rodgers and the play to the tight end? The fact that we actually finally got some solid receptions from the tight end, some much needed plays out of that tight end position, and of course the big Hail Mary grab, even though that's not necessarily his assignment, Rodgers' assignment at the end of the Detroit game. But let me know what you think. Who do you want to see as a running back moving forward? Who do you think is going to make a difference? And how do you think this Packer team is going to do? So that'll be it for me for right now, and I will catch up with you again soon. Talk to you later. Go Pack.